जनूबी एशिया के लिए असिस्टेंट सेक्रेटरी ऑफ स्टेट डोनाल्ड लू कमेटी के सामने पेश हो गए। डोनाल्ड लू ने अपने बयान में कहा कि इंतखाबी अमल में मुदाखलत की तहकीकात होनी चाहिए। पाकिस्तान में किसी खास हुकूमत की हिमायत नहीं करते। इलेक्शन डे पर इंटरनेट की बंदिश और इलेक्शन से पहले इज्तिमात पर पाबंदी तशवीशनाक है।
डोनाल्ड लू ने साइफर को अमरीकी साजिश कहने के बानी पीटीआई के बयान को झूठ पर करार दिया। बानी पीटीआई के खिलाफ कोई साजिश नहीं की गई। खुद पाकिस्तानी सफीर असद मजीद तस्दीक कर चुके हैं कि साइफर का इल्जाम झूठ है।
As a junior officer in Peshawar, Pakistan 31 years ago, I got to see a Pakistani election up close. I got to see the irregularities in that election, but also the courage of the Pakistani people to come out and vote despite threats of intimidation and threats of violence. If you'll allow me today, I propose to say a few words about where the election on February 8 fell short, where we saw positive elements, and what lies ahead for U.S. policy in Pakistan. The day after the elections, the State Department issued a clear statement. We noted undue restrictions on the freedoms of expression, association, and peaceful assembly. We condemned the electoral violence and restrictions on human rights and fundamental freedoms. We condemned attacks on media workers and restrictions on the access to the internet and telecom services. And we expressed concern about allegations of interference in the electoral process and stated that claims of interference and fraud should be fully investigated. If you'll allow me, I'll drill down a bit deeper into these observations. We were particularly concerned about electoral abuses and violence that happened in the weeks leading up to the polls. On the day of elections, an internationally respected local election monitoring organization said they were barred from observing vote tabulation in more than half of the constituencies across the country. And despite a high court order not to interrupt internet service on election day, authorities shut down mobile data services, the principal means by which Pakistanis access social media and messaging apps. Unfortunately, Pakistan is facing a mounting debt challenge after the past decade of elevated borrowing, including from the PRC. This year, nearly 70% of the federal government's revenue is expected to go to payments to service this massive debt. Pakistan needs economic reforms, and it needs private sector-led investment that will deliver economic growth for the Pakistani people and not dig their government deeper into debt. At no point does it accuse the United States government or me personally of taking steps against Imran Khan. And thirdly, the other person in the meeting, the then ambassador of Pakistan to the United States, has testified to his own government that there was no conspiracy. We respect the sovereignty of Pakistan. We respect the principle that Pakistani people should be the only ones choosing their own leaders through a democratic process. Mr. Chairman, we are grateful that you are holding this hearing today for us to talk about that process.